All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. We are now joined by our Daytona 500 champion, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky, you have a win here at Talladega. Why don't you talk about what it's like to be racing here again this weekend?
Yeah, our first win. Hello. Check. Coming? Oh. Sounds great. A little too early for that. All right. No, it's cool to be back at the site of your first win, especially after starting the season off with a win on the super speedway, and just bringing some confidence in that hopefully we can do it again. So always love being at Talladega, being able to race a sprint car across the street last night and tonight, and just getting extra racing in, and this racetrack's really wide. It's 4 lanes wide, pretty comfortable. So it'll be interesting to kind of see if we can get more than kind of 2 lanes going. Daytona, Atlanta, it seems like those 2 lanes were about all we could get going. Hopefully we can get at least 3, so we can start making moves and get up through the field when we need to. But feeling really confident coming in.
Great, thanks. We'll go ahead and open up to questions. We'll go to Bob, then Jeff.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. When your team leases a pit crew from another organization, what are the expectations as far as, you know that if they do well, that assume that there's a chance you can lose them?
Yeah, that's how much time we got? No, I'm just kidding. So yes, that is the case most of the time, and a case that we had been in my first 2 years at JTG. We signed on at Roush a 2-year deal with the outline, specified that we did not want our pit crew taken. We would commit for 2 years if we could, keep our guys together. We did that last year, all year long. When it came down to, towards the end of the season, we were really happy with all the guys that we had last year. We felt like our fuel guy was a little bit slower than where we needed to be at the end of last year, and so we had kind of requested a change there, but wanted to keep all of our guys intact for this season, because I feel like that chemistry is really important when you're kind of choreographing those pit stops. And so we were really happy with all of our guys. And then end of last year, they let us know that they were changing one of our guys, and we weren't really thrilled about that, but they kind of guaranteed us that the guy that they were going to replace him with was going to be make our pit stops a lot faster. And so we started this season off, and we actually were struggling on pit road quite a bit. We kind of asked, hey, I thought this new change was going to be good, and they said, well, we actually put him on the 6th car, so we didn't actually get the one that they were going to replace one of our guys with last year. So that was a little bit of a bummer. We did get a new guy last week going into Martinsville, and our pit stops were great. And Monday morning they took the whole team. So I hate it for my guys. Obviously went to battle with them, won Daytona with them, and felt like we had most of them all last year as well, and just felt like we really had that good chemistry of a solid team together. And now that's kind of all mixed up and gone away. So I hate it for those guys having to switch teams, but I know a few of the guys on the team coming in that were on the 17 car, and Mike Kelly's worked with some of those guys, obviously, from us both being over there. And they had a really good pit practice this week. I feel really confident that I know Mike Kelly can get the most out of guys, and those guys got a little chip on their shoulder, so that never hurts anything as well. And they want to show their worth and what they can do going over the wall. So I think we'll be fine as a race team, but I do hate it for my guys that started going to battle with us last year. That's the biggest bummer. But yeah, I think the expectation going into it was, that would not happen to us. I don't know really what all the contracts and stuff look like, but that was kind of the mindset going in, and so I guess that's what you get when you got people that are over there running that place. So I will go to Talladega this weekend, and I think I am not worried about our over-the-wall guys. I know those guys will get it done.
All right, we'll go to Jeff, then Jenna, then Kelly.
Ricky, there's been a couple times where you guys would get 3 wide at various tracks with this new car, and then everybody goes, "Oh, see, the drivers could do it if they wanted to," basically. And then there's it seems like the other side of that is like physically, like physics, whatever. Like the new car just does not allow you guys to race 3 wide very often. So, which is more of the truth in there, or is it a mix?
It's definitely a mix. I think. You look down at the end of the races, right, and we all just kind of take any gap that we can, and just, at Atlanta, I should have shot the middle. I think I saw onboard video of like Eric Jones kind of running up through the middle there and gained a lot of spots. I was kind of committed to the 48 and 1 that were on the bottom at Atlanta, but it works for a few laps, it seems like. And again, it could be somewhat driver driven. You watch when cars get single file on the outside line at Daytona. The inside lane, you start making a run. As soon as one of the cars finds a gap close enough to the front where they're comfortable being, say, kind of that 9th, 10th spot in line on the top, then they bail, and then all of a sudden you start hurting the energy of that bottom lane. And so I do think that's, driven by the drivers. But, for sure 2 wide, I think, you can get it working as long as you have enough guys to stay committed to it. 3 lanes is tough because, you got guys that want to either be in the top or the bottom. The middle works really well for a while. But it is, a little bit more risky, right? At least at Daytona and definitely Atlanta. Here at Talladega, 3 wide is super easy to do. So it'll be interesting to see. The bottom lane here, it gets so flat in the tri-oval that I do feel like the middle or kind of top lane can make its way up to the front, because you end up running the bottom here more than you do at Daytona in Atlanta. So the car's tough to do. It's got a lot of drag. You got to really stay in line to do it, but I think it's a little bit of both.
Go over to Jenna.
Jennifer, AP. Hey, Ricky, is it your understanding that the pit crew change is for a while, or was it just this week?
No, it's for the rest of the season.
Okay.
I guess until the new ones start doing well on our team. I don't know. I don't really know how it works now, but I know our guys. Everybody wasn't real thrilled about it. But like I said, I do know that Mike's talked to the new guys coming in, and man, they're super committed to showing what they got. So I'm excited about that.
Did they have that luxury to do that because you've got to win already?
That's above my level. I don't know. I'm not sure what their understanding of why they feel like that was the best move, because normally when something happens like that, it's we're requesting something different or whatnot. But I think our guys averaged last week first on pit road, so we were thrilled with that, obviously, and then kind of got the rug pulled out from under us. But like I said, I think it's going to be great for our team. I think Mike Kelly will get our guys dialed in, and like he always does. And I just hate it for the guys that gotta leave our team.
Did they get their rings before they got
I
taken?
haven't yet, but I'm sure they will. We won't leave them hanging.
All right. Thank you.
We'll go to Kelly and then Claire.
Kelly, CrandallRacer.com. Ricky, how did you find out about the pit crew change? I think I had read on Nascar.com it was an email.
I did not receive an email. I think Jen received an email of talking points, but I don't think I followed those. Yeah, it goes through our competition director with Ernie and those guys. So, I get filled in. Mike Kelly actually called me Monday night. He kind of waited all day Monday trying to figure out if they could change what was being done. But he called me probably 9 o'clock on Monday night.
And you talked about, obviously, you don't want to lose your guys. They've been one of the best on pit road. When a change like this does happen, does it just not ruin, but maybe just upset the chemistry a little bit as everybody kind of comes over?
There's a lot that goes, into the sport, not just over the wall. We got a brand new pit box this year that, the guys have been over in the off season and, worked on, getting it set up, getting it put down, getting it, put back together, and getting it ready to go. And there's just a lot of different little things that the pit crew guys have to kind of manage. And I know our pit boxes are totally different than the pit boxes that they're used to. So just little things like that. Now I'm sure this weekend our road crew guys are going to have to go out there on pit road and kind of walk through the whole scenario of our pit box with them. So it's just a lot more work for some of our road crew guys, and then obviously the pit crew guys got to kind of figure that out as well. But the actual, I'd say, choreography going over the wall and stuff is the same. Obviously they practice at the same place. So they'll have to get used to me coming in and out of the pit box, which is obviously a little bit different. Our guys have been with me for over a year now, and you can go to pit practice and kind of practice that, but it's nothing like, when you're actually on pit road, like in your race car. It's really easy to pull in the pit box at pit practice. So a little more chaotic, lifetime. So things like that are definitely going to be different for them.
We'll go to Claire and then over in the back.
Claire Beeline, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. You're a really good driver at super speedways, but there was a study done by Dr. DeAndre. The second highest score of crashing at Talladega comes from you, who have 16 accidents in 19 races. But it's paid off. The aggression has paid off. You won in the Spring Talladega 2017 and the Daytona 500. But in 6 Talladega races, average finish, I think, 21.8. Can you talk to us about how willing you have to be if you want to be a great super speedway racer, willing to crash, willing to take that chance, take those, lumps along with winning, and how you have to balance that out if you want to win?
Yeah, I think really we all strap in willing to crash going out there. We all know that that's a major high probability is we're going to crash. So it's about, for me, I feel like most of the time, the wrecks that I've, gotten in, or when you lose track position, you're trying to come up through the field, and something generally happens. Back when I first started, it seemed like everything kind of happened in the center of the field, and now everything happens at the front of the field. You want to be leading, you want to be at the front of the field, but when we're throwing blocks on each other like we do now, those crashes happen a lot further forward in the field and collect way more cars. So I think I know there's a lot of drivers that come in here and don't really care about any of the stats and just see how it works out. So having wins, I wouldn't say that I don't have a style here that is different than anybody else's. I think when you have things like that, then you have a better shot at winning. And so for me, that's really all we focus on.
Come over here in the back.
Hey, Ricky, Marshall Smith with Samford University Center for Sports Analytics. Can you talk a little bit about how your qualifying position changes how you think about your race on Sundays? Do you drive more aggressively, defensively, looking for dancing partners, etc.?
Yeah, so qualifying, I feel like is, it's important, obviously. A lot of people write it off at super speedways, but, I think for me, it kind of dictates that first stage of the race. So Daytona, we didn't qualify well. Or Atlanta, you don't push to get stage points in that first stage unless things just work out. Because like I was just telling Claire, it's like going up through the field is generally at some point when it happens, and you don't necessarily want that to happen in the first stage. So for me, qualifying up front, it's a lot easier to keep your track position with this car than it is to gain your track position, at least out on the racetrack. So, you have a bad qualifying effort, then you're looking at different strategies, 2 tires, no tires, things like that to get your track position, so that you can, get to the front and try and keep it from there.
And we'll come right up front here.
Noah Lewis, TSJ Sports. Ricky, can you talk about the importance of the chemistry with the pit crews, and then now how you plan to build the chemistry now that we're already in the season? Because it's got to be an awkward situation on both sides.
Yeah, I think for us and our team, might be a little awkward for our guys that left because I don't think they wanted to leave. So it might be a little worse for them. But I think for our team, like I said, Mike Kelly is one of those guys that can really bring the team together and make sure he gets the most out of everybody in our team and in every position. So the chemistry, luckily those guys, at least we didn't, I guess, insert one guy and take one out or whatnot. We took the whole team's basically swapped, and so I'm confident that when I come in the pit box and I get stopped, those guys are going to be able to get the job done. They're not learning each other, which is a good thing. They're going to have to learn. Mike Kelly talking on the radio of what adjustments to do and kind of how we go about our business on race day. But, like I said, Mike Kelly's worked a few of those guys. A few of those guys have been on some of Mike Kelly's pit crews for a long time. The team captain over there, long-time Roush guy, and known him for a long time. And I feel really confident. He guaranteed Mike that they would be, up to par. So we're ready to rip with them.
And then we'll come over here in the middle.
Jared Haas with Front Stretch Talk. Ricky, for the Daytona 500, you kind of came from third position, worked your way up, and made the pass in the chaos of the green-white checkers. Do you see yourself, in order to win here at Talladega on Sunday, do you need to be in that position where you're the third car in line, having that big run to overtake that lead, or is this more where you can either work farther back or you have to be up front in order to win here?
Yeah, I would take leading, any race on a green-white checkered. I think you control the race. I think the biggest issue that happened is the 8 was leading the race, and their mistake was trying to do like the teammate restart where they pulled the 3 backed off a little bit, let the 8 pull down. That killed all their momentum. I think if they would have just lined up together, the move that Larson and Logano, Larson and I made down the backstretch, I don't think that happens if they would have started in the same lane together. But for me, I would definitely take leading over anything. I think that's your best shot to win.
All right, one final question over here.
I'm Tracy Riggs with Tab Media. I was wondering how your faith affects the ups and downs of racing, because you've had a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, ups and downs are tough. That's part of the sport. I know that you know, our purpose isn't always for what we do every weekend. It's more for what we do before the race in chapel, and I think I grew up going to church at an early age with my family, and and if I wanted to race on Saturday nights, Mom made sure that we needed to be at church on Sunday morning, and so that was always a big thing throughout my life, and and I still do that today. I know we race on Sundays, but go to chapel on Sunday mornings, and I think it just really kind of puts into perspective how important your priorities are in your life, and so racing's important, but it's not the top priority, and so it's been a journey. My career's been up and down, and I think you could probably talk to a lot of people in the garage that they've had ups and downs in racing. So you just got to keep pushing through and have the faith that you can get it done. And I feel really confident about where I am right now.
All right, thanks so much, Ricky, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.